I made this app called Changa. For Kenyans or Tanzanian, I think you know the meaning of Changa. It means savings, or I think it also means contribution. Yeah, I think between the two. But yeah, so then app I called it Changa. It's an app to help users track their transaction, like expenses and income. Mostly those two. And in this video, I'll be showing you how it works and how everything. The underlying code and all the features that it has, which you can check more about it inside the description below. And the first thing you notice that we have no transactions yet, so we have this empty space here, and to add a transaction we just hit plus this floating action button, then you get this bottom model sheet. Then you have this form you have to fill. So the first thing, let's keep let's say like 50, then notes, let's say let's just keep something random, but you can add it. Then date, you have to pick here the date and also set the time. Also set the time that the transaction occurred. And the next part, you either pick between income or an expenses. Now one thing you notice that if you choose between the two, the categories here at the bottom also switch. So for income, I only added these default values here, like salary, freelance, businesses, investment, or a gift. And for an expense, you have all these. So for now, let's start with income. So let's say salary. Then the button at the bottom to create is enabled once all the fields are filled. So when you hit create, then you have this one here. You have the entire information, the data that you've added. So this one is the income, you get the income value, and the expenses 0. Then you have the transaction history here at the bottom. Now okay, so this slide theme I don't like it, but the good thing, one thing with Flutter, to make it the app adjust based on the theme, you just have to add this properties here inside the material app. Then we have a beautiful dark mode here. And okay, before we continue, let me show you the logs that we have here at the bottom. So the package that I used is this logger package, which is good for displaying the logs in details. Like it also show you where exactly the method or the function responsible is at, and all the informations that you need. So like here, when you added that transaction of salary, you get these logs here, like the provider, the notifier that was used was to create transaction is inside the code. So you can also navigate to this part of the code. Let me show you. So providers, then you have transactions. Yeah, so this is the part of the code responsible for creating a transaction. So we have these loggers here that add this information that you see here below here. So we have the information about the transaction here. Then we also have we are also using Riverport for state management. I think it's, for me, I think it's the best one to manage state inside your app. There isn't too much boilerplate or too much to do. All you have to do is just set the provider scope here inside main. Then you can create your providers anywhere inside the app. So here for transactions, we have the sync notifier to handle all the CRUD operations like fetch, create, or update, delete, and is it? I think also we have for filters here. So all this you can run the code on your end, and you can go through it, each one of it step by step. But yeah, so let's go back to the application itself. So we have this information here, the transaction that you added, the stats here. Then if you hit inside a specific transaction history, you get the model with already populated fields. Now you can either change the values. Let me say, let me add like 80. Then this one, let me just remove. So if the changes are made, the button also changes, so you can just update that, and the information will be updated throughout the app. And that is the good thing with having a state management mechanism inside the app. And Riverpod makes it much easier to do all that. I tried other ways of managing state, but like I felt that I spent so much time on implementing like a feature that it took me so much time compared to if I used Riverpod. So you have that, then you have filter. Okay, for filters I'll explain to you later on when you have enough data here to make the filters a bit reasonable. So if you close that, then at the top here, top right corner, you have the currency changer. So if you tap on that, you can you can pick the default currency. So since I'm in Kenya, I'll just pick the Kenyan shilling. So you type the currency name, then it will bring you that. Then once you select it, every symbol amount will be changed. So okay, so this one is so symbol amount will be changed. Also, like you've noticed that if I tap on one of these ones, it gives also detailed stats. So let me tap on that. So it gives this all detailed stats, like how much contributed a week. So you can use this to switch between the weeks. And here you also have the like the labels, like so for salary, like it is $80, 80 Kenyan shillings. So also you can switch between income and expenses, but since you have no expenses, so it is empty. Now let's add an expense. So we have that, let's say like 30, then the time, let me just click on that. Then between all this one, let me just pick utilities. Then if you create it, you get the information here. So utilities, and you can see also the stats have been changed. So expenses took 30% of the chart, so you see that, and the balance you have like is 50 bob. Then if you go back here to the stars, you pick on expense, you can see the chart is like this, and the expense